Well, actually, Kerry, I didn't decide to do it. It was my firm that decided that I would do it. And I was basically physically pushed into the TV studio. They thought that I would be good at talking to their investors and potential investors. And they had the faith in me. I didn't have the faith in me. And so I did this first interview on BBC talking about gender. I was terrified, absolutely terrified. And I can't say actually that I did an amazing job, but what I can tell you is I learned so much from doing a live interview. And actually, that's what kick-started me.
What did you learn doing that live interview?
Well, what I learned was that everything that I had been taught by Broadcast Ready and Your Good Self is that it works. So things like be yourself, know your subject. In fact, that is so important. And be confident. And the rest just happens. And so, you know, I realized I didn't handle any of that particularly well at the time, but I did realize that actually, if I had followed the advice that I'd been given, that I would do okay. So that's kind of why I continued. And to be honest, I must have been reasonable because the BBC did ask me back.
That's humble. I mean, everybody's scared on the first TV interview, and I think the worst thing that you can do is sit there thinking, wow, 3 million people are watching me now, or wow, I've got 500,000 people watching me. It's best to just sort of think, just me and this conversation with this TV presenter. But if you go back 4 years ago, you know, you put a lot of work into the preparation of each interview. Do you think it was, I mean, how much, because some people might be watching thinking, oh, I can't really be bothered, I've got to do my day job. So how much work did you put in? And then with all the practice that you did and the more interviews you did, you obviously got better and better because it's like riding a bike. How much would you put in now, for example, if BBC called you up today to get you on TV?
Well, if they called me up today, I'd probably go right back to first principles because I haven't done it for a long time. But I used to do a lot of research, and it worked twofold for me because the research I was doing for a particular topic, usually it was about investments, and that was my specialty, and that's what I knew about. But when you're talking on as an expert, you've really got to know the detail, you know, and sometimes detail of products or actual numbers and things, you know, you're not thinking about them all the time in your day-to-day work, and you do need to be refreshed. You know, what's the ISA limit and that sort of thing. You just got to make sure that you say the right number. And so, yes, I did a lot of research, and it put me bang up to date with everything. And did it take me away from my day job? Well, the amount of interviews I had did, I think, because as you said, I did a lot of interviews. It wasn't only television. I did radio, and I also put a lot of articles in the press as well. And so actually, for me, it was starting to dominate my job. But really my job was to communicate to the firm's investors. So really, that was the job. But what I did learn is you've got to know your stuff, and you've got to have facts. They want facts. They want to know how many people have got an ISA in the UK. They want to know that stuff. It's information. So you've got to have that at hand. The other thing is that when you go into an interview, you're usually only there for 3 to 10 minutes. And so therefore you've got to really focus on what you want to say, or what they really want you to come on and say. So actually it's 3 things.
Yeah.
You know, if you can get more than 3 things out in 10 minutes, then I'd be very surprised. And then there's the ancillary stuff that they will ask you that you just weren't expecting. And that's why you need to do your backup. But there's nothing wrong also saying, oh, actually, I'll get back to you on that one. And as you just said earlier, it's all about having a rapport with the person you're speaking to, so that you just think you're talking to that person. And so if you're talking to that person offline, you should think about it in the same terms.
Yeah, now you mentioned about how, you've got to get your facts straight. I mean, that's vital. Somebody at your level, you're a chief investment officer, you're a board director, would you had support, would you advise people that if they can sort of get analysts to get involved, get PR people to start putting those facts together as well as you doing your own research?
Yeah. So I did do that as well. I got people to help me because I couldn't gather all the facts personally myself. But then you've just got to go through it all. You've got to actually be very confident that people are putting the facts together for you, are getting the right data. So I suppose that's a given. But on the whole, you've still got to review it. You've still got to put it inside of you so that you can bring it out again and actually say it. The other thing about it is that it enhances how you speak at board meetings, how you speak to staff and big conference or seminar type conversations. So actually none of it goes to waste. I think it's all good for you.
And how many new sales inquiries did the company get as a result of taking on broadcast PR for the first time?
Look, actually, I think that was the amazing thing. So one thing was that I did the interview and I learned a lot from it, and the BBC asked me back, so I did some more. But the other thing that really drove me was the response from our clients.
Right.
I was actually overwhelmed by the response from our clients, because all of a sudden we started gathering assets under management that we had never done before. So over a space of 9 months in 2016, when the market was tanking, because I don't know if you'll remember, but oil fell to $18 a barrel, markets got very scared. And so people were leaving the markets in droves. But not where I was working at TD Direct Investing. We were gaining assets under management. We gained £1 billion over that period. And so that was really gratifying. And I think, why was that, And I've asked a lot of people, why me? Because I still, to this day, do not believe I'm the best commentator out there. But I think the things that I was fed back was trust. People looked at me and heard me and thought, I trust this person. They know that she knows what she's talking about and she sounds sincere. And I think those are the two things that drove the success.
So in the 9 months, you got £1 billion worth of extra assets, which is what, $1.4 billion, is that?
Yes, probably, yes.
US dollars. And how many of those was from existing clients versus getting on new clients?
So we were gaining new clients as well, but that's a kind of difficult question. So a lot of clients who were fairly dormant. So we had a big client base that just was sitting there doing nothing. So in effect, a lot of them were new clients. The other thing, actually, while we talk about assets under management, that was one thing. They started to buy stocks and shares and funds. But the other thing that happened was we had a big trading base. And our trading base, so people who trade, some people who trade professionally, some people who just really like the stock market. There's quite a lot of platforms that they could do that on. And increasingly, they came to us. And our trading increased 7-fold over that period as well, which was, just went to our bottom line. It was great for profitability for the firm.
Over the 9 months of you going on television and radio?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That is just, those results are just incredible.
Yeah, yeah, no, they were absolutely incredible. And I like those results because I think the people who invest like that, you know, semi-professional investors, if they felt confident in what I was saying, then I'm going, oh, okay, maybe I do know a thing or two about investing, you know, and they trusted me and listened to me. So I thought that was great for my own confidence.
Yes, I think that's one thing you do come across as sincere, trustworthy. Um, yeah, I would agree with that. I'd definitely agree with that feedback. And so, do you wish you'd done this now when you were younger, or you know, in your 20s, 30s, or was it just not an opportunity for you to do it then?
Yes, I wish I'd learned about it, that I had the confidence to do it earlier. In fact, my oldest daughter is in the investment industry as well, and I really encourage her to step up to the plate. And she suffers from exactly the same problems. Oh, I don't know, but actually, she could do. Well, she's much more knowledgeable than me. She's going to fly in her career, but. Yes, I really think that, you know, because I really enjoyed it in the end. I did some, you know, fun things. I think, you know, BBC morning television up in Manchester, sitting on the red couch, talking to Naga, or more often actually I was sitting on high stools talking to the Stephanie. But that was fun because they enjoy what they do. And now I watch them on passing. I'm not a big television watcher myself, but you know, I watch them on television and I go, yeah, they have fun. They really enjoy what they do.
Yeah,
And,
it was.
and it would be great to be part of that. And the same with CNBC. It was a much more a difficult experience. I suppose when I was going on one time to CNBC and somebody was coming off, the guy who was coming off said to me, they're Rottweilers, you know. And he said, just be careful. But I got on and I really enjoyed them. I enjoyed the banter. I enjoyed the tough questions. And that's getting back to knowing your stuff. And so that was good fun.
Yeah, they don't need to be a Rottweiler with everyone. And also it's sort of what you perceive. You could perceive something totally differently to somebody else, could you?
Yeah, for sure.
Now I've got such a buzz, you know, getting you on television so often. I miss that buzz actually. I just love it. I just love seeing a story break and then giving you guys a call and getting you on air. Because I just see how happy it makes people, and you know, not just you, the person that's getting on air, but the company itself. You know, all the staff, all the employees. They're like, wow, we must be working for a really good company. We're on television, and the motivation as well. You know, everyone's sort of tuning in to watch you at sort of 8 o'clock in the morning when they get into the office. You know, and the recognition as well, because we did some research, Broadcast Ready, with TNS, polling company, and it said that a third of the people that watch you on BBC Breakfast or BBC News or ITV News, whichever news program it is, actually got the phone and they're either Googling your name or the company name to look you up. So it's really powerful. I just love that knock-on effect. And obviously it benefited the company, and they paid for the PR company, they paid all the expenses. How has it benefited you personally though? Have people treated you with more respect? Have men in business, have they treated you with more respect now they've seen you on TV? Have you been able to command a higher, not salary because you're not on a wage now, but a higher income?
Yeah, I've definitely benefited because people believe that if you can do things on television, then you've kind of made it, and you've got something over other people, because most people are too scared to go on television, and so they have an added respect for you for doing that, and it gives you, it shouldn't really, should it? But it gives you a bit of kudos, I think. And, you know, there are people doing amazing things, amazing jobs all around the world that just don't get the recognition that they deserve. You get on TV and people like what they see, and then all of a sudden you get this amazing kudos. So I don't quite get it, but it's the way of our life nowadays. So yes, it's always helpful.
Well, thanks very much for talking to me today and for sharing your knowledge and expertise with other people to be able to help them.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. If anybody wants to get in touch with Michelle, I'll put some details at the bottom of this link so you'll be able to contact her directly. Well, that's all for today. Thanks very much. Bye. Thanks, Michelle. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone.